this morning that we're going to take up. We're going to begin with Senate nomination number 11, Mr. Jody Wagner from Hickory, Mississippi. Mr. Wagner, can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Good morning to you. I
Good morning.
appreciate you joining us this morning. Um, so, Mr. Jody is being nominated Mississippi Animal Board of Health, representing the general farmer. Your reappointment by Governor Reeves for another 4-year term. If you would talk to the committee just a little bit, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm Jody Wagner. I'll probably show up on the screen as Jill Wagner, who's my wife. Some of y'all know her, that may not know me. Cow-calf producer in Hickory that is also involved in the poultry industry. Um, been on the Board of Animal Health for in excess of 12 years. Um, been fairly active in Farm Bureau, obviously, and I have two sons in college. One is at West Texas A&M studying animal science, and my youngest son is at Northwest Community College studying John Deere technology. That's a little bit about me. I'll be glad to entertain any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Wagner. Does the committee have any questions for Mr. Wagner? Would anybody like to speak on Mr. Wagner? Senator McCon?
Mr. Chairman, I appreciate the opportunity. I've known this fellow for a little while. He may or may not want to acknowledge that in public, but Jody's a pretty good dude. He does a great job with his ag within the ag industry. His family's been involved in it for a number of years, and it appears he's done a pretty good job on this board for the last 12 years. If we're going to look to reappoint him for another term there. Mr. Chairman, I know there's a few things in here that Mr. Wagner and I are going to work on with this statement of economic interest and some other things in there. I know him very well. I've done a little work for him in the past, so we'll make sure that anything in there of concern will get taken care of for him. So it would be my great honor to recommend him and have a motion at the proper time.
I appreciate that. Any other questions? Well, Mr. Wagner, I appreciate you being willing to serve on this committee. And when I saw Jill Wagner come up on the screen, I smiled a little bit because I've known Miss Jill a little while, and I think she's a great lady. So I appreciate her, and I appreciate you and what you've done for ag. I appreciate Senator McCon speaking on the things that we need to take care of, and I feel like there will be no problem on that. So with that, I'll recognize Senator McCon for a motion.
Mr. Chairman, my motion is we do advise and consent.
You've all heard the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Oppose? Congratulations, Mr. Wagner. We'll take your nomination to the floor.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. The next nomination that we're going to bring up, I think we have Dr. Mike Thompson.
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Good morning, Dr. Mike.
Good morning.
So we're going to call up Senate nomination 10, Senate nomination 85, Senate nomination 86. We're going to take those up in block. We have 3 nominations filling the remainder of a term for Miss Betsy Lipscomb by Dr. Mike, and then setting the term for a 4-year term that would end in August 29th. I'll speak a little bit about, well, hang on. Let me back up. Dr. Mike, if you would you tell us a little bit about yourself and your practice and just a little bit about yourself, please, sir?
Okay. I was raised on a cow-calf and row crop farm, Benton County, raised in Hickory Flat. Went to Mississippi State, got a veterinary degree. I practiced in Ripley, Tennessee, and then in Tupelo for a few years, and then finally settled in Holly Springs in 1991. And I've been there, and we've got a mixed animal practice there. And I have a practice in New Albany as well that I'm still partners with Dr. Childers in. I don't know anything else to add.
Well, I think that's a pretty good little statement, and I'll speak a little bit to Dr. Thompson. I've known Dr. Thompson my entire life. Grew up around him, going to his veterinary clinic. He has taken care of my animals my entire life. Great gentleman. Takes great pride in his work, and exceptionally well to a man who is trying not to squall when his dog is dying of heartworms. He takes good care of the animal and the person, so I appreciate that.
That was a bad day, Mr. Whaley.
It was. I think about that dog pretty often.
Yeah.
She was one of the best. I'll say that. So, Dr. Mike, and with Dr. Mike's appointment, just his nomination, just like the prior one, we're going to work on, and I'm going to work with you, Dr. Mike, on taking care of the oath and the statement of economic interest, and I'll get with you on that after the meeting where we
Okay.
can get that set up. Very easy process, and we'll get that taken care of. Are there any questions for Dr. Mike? There are no
I
questions.
got one.
Oh, Senator Hill?
Dr. Mike, can you tell the chairman what prevents those heartworms?
It's you need to stop, ma'am.
She has no idea about tip of bottom, does she, Dr. Mike?
Well, yeah, and sometimes you can do everything, and there is some true resistance to all the heartworm preventatives now, and that's very upsetting when
And
you
that is sad.
yeah,
is sad.
when you promise somebody if you put your dog on this medication, they won't get heartworms, and occasionally they
Yep.
still do. It's a bad
Yep.
deal.
And then when you put them on the medication, then they want you to still test them every year.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, that's
Thank you so much. We
That's a much
appreciate
longer
your,
okay,
we
that's a much
appreciate your
longer
willingness.
discussion. Okay.
Do I hear a motion? The motion is that we do advise and consent. All in favor? Oppose? Congratulations, Dr. Mike. We'll carry this forward, and I'll be getting in contact with you to take care of a few other little things, okay?
All right. Neil, if y'all don't need me, I'm gonna go back to work. Is that okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Thank all of y'all.
Yes, sir.
Uh,
The final nomination that we have is Senate nomination number 9, Dr. Randy Laurel Cran of Hattiesburg to the State Animal Board of Health. She will be taking the remainder of a 4-year term, expiring on June 30th of 2027 for the representing the poultry breeders and producers. We had spoken with Dr. Cran earlier, and it is our understanding that she is a new mother, and she is unable to be with us here today. We've looked over the peer report, see absolutely no derogatory information. We did see that we need to get a statement of, well, no, that's not the right one. Statement of economic interest, and we'll get that taken care of just like we have with the others. But other than that, peer reports seem to be good. Are there any questions? Do I hear a motion? Motion is we do advise and consent. All in favor? Oppose? That nomination carries. That'll conclude our business of the day. Do I hear a motion? Thank y'all.